I'm Chung Win with Notebooks.com, and today we're at the Sony Ericsson booth at the Game Developers Conference in San Francisco. Today we're going to take a look at the XPERIA Play, which was recently announced at Mobile World Congress.
And the one we're using right now is the version that you'll see at Verizon Wireless, which launches in April in the US. Playing Crash Bandicoot, and you can see I'm using the controller, the D-pad for my direction, and in this particular game the square button and the circle gives you the spinning action for Crash Bandicoot, and then jumping with the X button. This is one of the classic PlayStation titles, but we'll also have titles from leading publishers like Electronic Arts and Gameloft. For example, from Gameloft we'll have Asphalt 6 Adrenaline, racing game that supports multiplayer capability over Wi-Fi. And we'll also have Star Battalion, which is a space action game. And you see, while I'm talking and playing the game, I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing, and Crash just lost a life there. You're looking at the controller, you've got the PlayStation icons, the D-pad, and then you have an analog touchpad, dual analog joysticks here. So if the game is written to take advantage of these, for example with Asphalt, you can control the car with the D-pad, or you can do it with the touch joystick as well. So if the game has been written to take advantage of that, that's one way to play. You also have accelerometer capability with E-Compass, so you have 6-axis motion control for a game to support something like that. And again, going back to the Asphalt game, I can play with the D-pad to steer, I can use the touchpad, or I can do motion control. So different ways you want to play using the game. In addition to all the keys you see here, you have the shoulder buttons, also known as trigger keys, to give you more gaming action controls. This will launch with about 7 titles preloaded, and then at launch there'll be about 50 additional titles available for download through Android Market, but also with the Verizon product through VCast apps as well. But what I really want to establish too, besides this being a great gaming device, being the first PlayStation certified device in the world, is that it also is a full-fledged Android smartphone, coming with the latest version of the Android platform, Android 2.3, also known as Gingerbread. You've got Wi-Fi capabilities up to Wi-Fi B, G, and N, so you've got really high throughput over Wi-Fi. In the camera, you have first the 5-megapixel camera here with the LED camera flash. And then you have a secondary camera, VGA camera, for video chat services and such as well.
How large is the display on this?
4-inch display, and the resolution is FWVGA. It's a really nice resolution on the screen.
So 16:9 aspect ratio.
Yeah, correct.
And the screen, is it the same Bravia engine that
No, this one does not have the Bravia engine that you find in the Xperia Arc, but it's still a really brilliant screen. And actually, when we think of the gaming aspect of it, you have up to 50 frames, up to 60 frames per second action here on the screen. It's a really brilliant screen, and also with the processor, you have the Adreno 205 graphics processor in this device too. That really gives you good graphics performance.
So that's from Qualcomm, right? So it's a Snapdragon.
Correct. Yeah. So you have the Snapdragon, you have the second generation Snapdragon CPU, and then with that you have the Adreno 205 GPU and dual channel processing. So it's very efficient for more instructions and multitasking with the chipset. But also just inherent with Gingerbread has a lot of enhancements for overall for better efficiency and making this a more nimble device. But especially for gaming too, you have really fantastic performance. So the chipset in tandem with the enhancements for gaming from Gingerbread makes this really cool from a smartphone perspective, but also specifically for gaming.
Can you show us if there's actually like a PlayStation app that you launch games through, or are games individual titles?
Well, what you'll have is a game launcher. So this is the Xperia Play game launcher, and there's two tabs here. The first one where it says Xperia Play Games, this will show you the titles that are optimized for the device that are preloaded in the game, in here already, or preloaded games that you've downloaded. What it won't show are things that are not optimized for the device that'll still play really well on here. For example, if you download Angry Birds, that's not an Xperia Play optimized device, so you won't see it in this list of games.
Right.
So those specific optimized titles you'll see here, whether they're preloaded or you've downloaded. And one way that you get more games is you press on this tab, and this takes you to a preferred list of featured titles from our partners, gaming developer partners. So this is a way to see a really select list that rises to the top, either through Vcast or through Android Market. But then go to Android Market and you go to the Sony. There'd be a Sony Ericsson channel to come that you would see everything that's available there for the Xperia Play as well too. And not just from major publishers, which are very important to us, our partners, but also because Android is wide open, you're going to see games coming from less known publishers, titles that could become really popular, but you just don't know where these are going to come from. And that's part of the exciting part about being part of this being an Android device, full-fledged Android, as far as being a PlayStation certified device, the first PlayStation certified device in the world.
So all these games that we see here, these are all preloaded for the device, so there's no extra charge.
Well, actually, some of these are to be determined. Okay. But this gives you an indication of some of the titles that would be available there. Asphalt 6, Bruce Lee, Dragon Warrior, Crash Bandicoot, titles like that. With some of them to come to be confirmed.
Now, those are optimized for the Xperia Play because of the game controllers that we're seeing here.
Yes.
But if I have like a rival Android phone from another vendor, can I still play those games on another phone, or are they Xperia Play exclusive titles?
Well, you might be part of the development here is cross-platform, taking titles that are ported specifically to this device. So for example, Star Battalion, somebody would be playing that on iPhone, and you could even do multiplayer over here, but this would have the advantage of being ported to take advantage of the controller. The hard keys, the touchpad, the shoulder buttons, and combinations of all those.
Is there an HDMI out or a DLNA support for the Xperia Play?
You do have DLNA support, but you do not have HDMI out on this version of this device. Yes. So in our other Xperia family products, you do have an HDMI connection. Whenever you develop a product, it's a matter of balance of what are you enhancing the most, and also, to still offer at an affordable price. With this particular device, we focus on the gaming experience, so the HDMI is in this version, in this product, something that's not included. But you will find that in the Xperia Arc, the Xperia Pro, and the Xperia Neo. You do have HDMI connectivity.
So I can't be playing games on a big screen and using this as a controller, can I?
Right.
Okay.
As I mentioned before, though, you do have multiplayer capability with a bunch of titles too, though. So over Wi-Fi, and remember you have that really good throughput with Wi-Fi and you can actually play games, multiplayer games that support the multiplayer capability, like Star Battalion and like Asphalt and FIFA. You can do either local Wi-Fi, in your environment here, or you can do over the network. For example, in the GameLoft games, you go via GameLoft Live and play with people across the world. And if the titles are available on other platforms, so other full touch screen devices, for example, you can play with them as well. Of course, we think we would have a competitive advantage here with the advantages you have with a real, genuine gaming controller, mastering combination key presses and such, and just the diverse actions you can do with the shoulder buttons, the iconic action buttons, the D-pad, and the touch-sensitive, the touchpad as well with the dual analog joysticks.
We look forward to seeing it on Verizon in the US, and I'm sure there's a 3G GSM version for the international market.
Well, yes, there's a GSM UMTS version as well. So we're going to see this rolling out around the world.
Worldwide.
A lot of anticipation for this product, but the very first one we're happy to say is Verizon on CDMA in the US coming. You should see this coming in April.
In April with the classic Sony PlayStation controllers, right?
Yeah, with this exact look look that you see here with this design, with all this interface, is what you will find when it becomes available at Verizon.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.